Will California college students be returning to campus this fall? We have the answer in our lead report.
And with the stay-at-home order still in place, there is one major sport that will start very soon. Find out which one in sports.
The diverse stories of our Asian and Pacific Islander communities are celebrated this month. Details are coming up in entertainment.
We have a beautiful weekend ahead, but some slight changes could make a significant impact in our forecast. More in weather. Newscene starts now. Hi, I'm Noelle Mortensen.
And I'm Susana Serrano. Welcome to this edition of Newscene. As a stay-at-home order remains in place, Newscene continues to work remotely, but our commitment to bringing you the news of the week remains as strong as ever.
Thanks, Susana. We start tonight with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. California Governor Gavin Newsom has updated the state budget, and the numbers are grim. What was once a $6 billion surplus is now a $54 billion shortfall, but the governor is hoping federal aid will reduce the impact. It comes as about a third of California's counties manage to contain the spread. Most of the 19 are rural areas with a small population. Local San Diego County now has 200 deaths associated with COVID-19, with 6 added to the total yesterday. And California state universities are announcing their plans for the fall. Ben has the latest.
Thanks, Susana and Noelle. Students across the nation have been wondering what would become of the fall 2020 semester, and now, many of us here in California have our answer. California's CSU system officials have decided that the fall 2020 semester will be held online. And, UC officials said, while a formal decision isn't expected for another month, it's likely its students will remain away as well. The decision comes as fears of a resurgence in coronavirus cases and the absence of a vaccine take hold. Cal State Fullerton President Framrose Virgi defended his university's decision and addressed concerns over being too cautious.
We're expecting a small wave in August and then probably a much larger wave in October, November. It's much easier to move from virtual to physical face-to-face instruction if it becomes safe. And to phase that in than it is to start face-to-face and have to move to virtual quickly.
Cal State Student Body President Michael Wiaffi agreed with his sentiment.
In order to give students a little bit of level of certainty, I think this decision might have needed to happen sooner rather than later.
San Diego State University's editor-in-chief for the Daily Aztec said students were unsure about enrolling for the next semester, as classes would be different. One of the main appeals of the school is its campus, she said. Costs are another concern. Students are finding that given the difference in the kind of education they will be receiving, they've started asking about lower prices. Some are even considering transferring to other states reopening for the fall semester. Some still plan on skipping the year altogether. We will continue to follow the story as news develops. Until then, back to you, Susana and Noelle.
Thanks, Ben. California community colleges are challenging the guidelines for federal aid for students affected by COVID-19. State Attorney General Javier Becerra filed an order against U.S. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos on behalf of the colleges. At issue is the exclusion of DACA recipients and other non-citizens from receiving aid, veterans, and some students with disabilities who did not file federal financial aid forms are also unable to benefit. According to Chancellor Eloy Ortiz, this would exclude more than 800,000 community college students.
And with federal aid finally coming in for students impacted by COVID-19, San Diego City College has a plan to distribute it. On Tuesday, the Vice President of Student Services, Denise Weissenhunt, announced students will apply for district-wide process. Approved students would receive between $300 to $400, depending on how many units they are taking. The deadline to apply is May 25th.
And the unemployment rate is predicted to peak at a whopping 35%, rivaling numbers seen during the Great Depression. Goldman Sachs predicts the U.S. economy will have an output gap by the end of 2021. The investment bank reports the unemployment raised to 15% in April, and it will keep increasing through the end of the year. Economists still believe this could get worse before it starts to get better.
And California Democrats have proposed a major break for tenants struggling to pay their rent, a 10-year extension. The plan would take effect in 2024 and give landlords tax credits and renters time to pay without added interest. The proposal still needs to be considered alongside the state's budgeting defect plan by mid-June.
And the Chula Vista City Council has made helping the homeless easier in its city. Council members unanimously accepted a large tented homeless shelter and 10 FEMA trailers provided by the state to shelter homeless families. It's still unclear where it will all go. There's also a petition opposing the shelter that has collected over 500 signatures. The petition argues tents would stop business and would bring more crime to the area.
And San Diego is helping its neighborhood to the south weather the pandemic. Mayor Kevin Faulconer has announced the donation of 1,000 3D printed face shields to Tijuana hospitals. 5 ventilators will also be donated by CalDART. The announcement comes after reports showed Mexico may hit its COVID-19 peak in the coming weeks. Faulconer also announced a new bi-national regional group to monitor the potential impact of COVID-19 across the border.
And one of downtown's busiest roads is getting a much-needed facelift. The city of San Diego has begun work near the airport. 3 miles of North Harbor Drive between West Ash Street and Nimitz Boulevard are being repaved. The mayor of San Diego said the lack of traffic caused by the pandemic allows the city to fix what he declared to be a bumpy ride. The work is expected to end around mid-June. And traffic on our roads and highways may be light for now, but a disturbing trend has the CHP concerned. Cristina has more.
Stay-at-home orders have plenty of people doing just that, but those needing to leave their house are noticing a dangerous trend. Speeding is up, way up. The CHP announced an 87% increase in speeding tickets for drivers going over 100 miles per hour. The surge in speeding began on March 19th, the start of the stay-at-home order during the COVID-19 pandemic. The California Department of Transportation says there is a 35% drop in traffic volume on state freeways, but that's no excuse to drive over the speed limit. CHP Officer Jay Sanchez says violators are putting other drivers at risk.
There is traffic out there other than the people that are on quarantine. There are essential employees that were out and about. There's a lot of stuff still going on. There's still construction going on. There's certain jobs that are still actively, people are still actively going to work.
The CHP has not seen a significant rise in number of crashes, which is expected due to fewer drivers. However, the ratio of injuries and deaths to motorists has gone up.
There are more injury crashes, even more percentage-wise, even more fatals, because we should see a decrease in these things, and these numbers aren't going down.
The CHP and Caltrans are working to educate the public on making the highway safe for everyone. For Newscene, I'm Christina Payton.
Thanks, Christina. And speaking of driving fast, professional sports are trying to make a comeback. Vicky, tell us more.
Thank you, Susana and Noel. We start tonight with the Major League Baseball and a plan to return to the field. A proposal has been sent to the Players Union for an 82-game season that will begin in July, but of course, without any fans. The plan would include expanding the playoff field. The designated hitter will also be in the lineup for all games, even in the National League, where it's not typically used. But the plan must first clear some major obstacles before it can be a reality. The MLB commissioner spoke with CNN about the plans for the new season.
We hope that we will be able to convince the vast majority of our players that it's safe to return to work. The protocols for returning to play, the health-related protocols are about 80 pages in length. They're extraordinarily detailed. They cover everything.
And earlier in the broadcast, we brought you the news that CSU schools across the state will keep classes mostly online for the fall. But SDSU's athletic director believes the show will go on. The Aztecs are still planning to continue sports during the fall. According to reports by the San Diego Union Tribune, a plan is still being developed will bring athletes back to campus, starting with the football players. By comparison, all fall sports on the campus of Division II, Cal State San Marcos, were canceled within hours of the chancellor's announcement. And finally, tonight, one major sport is finally back. NASCAR is scheduled to return this upcoming Sunday. Like most sports in the world, the season was paused due to health concerns from the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. NASCAR is the first major sport in the U.S. to return, but it will do without fans. There will also be modified starting positions and pit selections. Let's hope this is only the beginning for live sports to resume. That's all I have for sports. Back to you, Susana and Noel.
Thanks, Vicky. And the latest rapper everyone is watching out of Poland is the president.
Walczą z ostrym cieniem mgły. Nie pytają cię o imię, walczą z ostrym cieniem mgły. To jest maj, nie pachnie Saska Kępa, może ktoś to gdzieś przewidział.
Poland's president has recorded a hip-hop video to raise money for the county's health services. The video has drawn nearly 7 million views on YouTube as of this morning, but the posting hasn't been without controversy. The president has not yet funded the medics with government funds.
Thanks, Noel and Susana. It's May, and that means Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
People get excited about it too.
While it may look a little different this year due to sheltering in place, there's still plenty of goodies online you can watch to celebrate. Netflix is streaming tons of content made by Asian American and Pacific Islander creators.
I left a funeral to be by your side after Nick Jonas married an Indian woman that wasn't you. That was very hard on me.
From recently released titles like The Half of It, Never Have I Ever, and Kim's Convenience, to old standbys like Master of None, you'll find plenty of binge-worthy content to keep you glued to your couch. And when a pandemic keeps everyone self-isolating, festivals can seem like a thing of the past, but that's not the case here. The Center for Asian American Media CAMFest and the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival have moved online. Both virtual events are free and allow access to film screenings, panels, and watch parties. The LA Virtual Festival is available all month long, but the CAMFest is only here until May 22nd. And with all those online productions available, we move on to a new kind of historical documentary on PBS.
The Asian American story, in very surprising ways, really is everybody's story.
Asian Americans is a 5-part docuseries depicting the real-life stories of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders with first-hand experience of major historical events. In this time of coronavirus and racism toward those in the Asian community, the series captures the diversity in the AAPI community, as well as their challenges and contributions to American history.
If we can learn from history, we can avoid repeating it. But even better than that, we can find the things that have moved civilization forward.
That's all I have for entertainment. Back to you, Susana and Noel.
Thanks, Christina. The weather is going to be perfect through the weekend, but we're seeing everything from Sierra snow to storms out east. Stefan, what can you tell us?
Beautiful weekend ahead. May Gray to return. Higher temps in this week. Hello, my name is Stefan Harris, and I will be your weather meteorologist for this week. Okay, in current temps in the coast, we have a sunny 66, inland a sunny 72, mountains sunny 83, in the desert a nice 85. In tonight's temps, it's going to be very cool and chilly. So I know a lot of people are going on night walks and exercising. So in the coastline, it's going to be in high to low 60s. And in the inland, it's going to be in the 50s, and even down to the deserts in the mountains, it's going to be in the 50s. So if you're going to go on that nice jog or nice walk with your family or dog, make sure you just get a light blazer. Should be a-okay. For the 5-day weather forecast, Saturday is going to have high lows of 74 to 63, Sunday to 75 to 63, Monday 72 to 64, Tuesday 69 to 59, and Wednesday 73 to 59. So it's seasonal weather is coming back. So, no more wacky random weather. So that's really good. National forecast. In the lows, there's going to be a dip low in the southern hemisphere of America. A lot of wet rain and moisture. As we go up, there's going to be mixed weather. That means probably a lot of overcast, some fog, rain. In our highs, in northern hemisphere of America, there's going to be a lot of wind and moisture and rain. So, out there, you guys, get some umbrellas. And there is a little thing that should be happening in the middle of May. Rain. I mean, snow. Excuse me. So yeah, check out for that. It's not going to be happening in San Diego, California, or on this side. So some snow could be happening somewhere else in America. Stay in touch. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Stefan. And finally this evening, even farm animals are aching to be put out of these stay-at-home orders and put them in the past. A herd of more than 200 goats escaped quarantine on Tuesday afternoon, and it was all caught on camera. The animals made their break when Terry Rollins, a rancher in San Jose, left to go to the grocery store. He returned to his herd wreaking havoc in his neighborhood. Rollins said the goats were rounded up in about 5 minutes, but the mess that they made took hours to clean up.
What a mess, Noelle. Well, that is all the news we have for you tonight, but we will be back next week.
Thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful evening, and remember, follow SD City Newscene on social media. We leave you tonight with amazing video from today's flyover by the Thunderbirds. Good night.